Hey everyone, Mike here today with some thoughts here on Slime Rancher 2. Yesterday I did a video on Slime Rancher 2, the first kind of half hour initial impressions of it, and the week before I actually did a video on the first Slime Rancher. So the first Slime Rancher I put in several hours, I kind of reached the end game, and then when I did a video on kind of initial impressions here for Slime Rancher 2, I very quickly got a feel that this is very much the same kind of game as the first one. For better or for worse. And so I figured let's talk about that today. We'll keep this one a little bit short. We'll do a trip around the farm a bit, but first I'm going to go ahead and plant this odd onion, which is a new vegetable I found. So we'll create a new enclosure for them. Plant those, kind of go through the basics. But yeah, in short, very simple game. You go ahead and build enclosures. You bring in some slimes that you find in the wild. Keep them in captivity for a while, and pretty much the extent of the game. I say that as if it's a very simple game, and actually, it is. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It is an overwhelmingly positive game on Steam. I found it to be quite enjoyable, actually. A couple hours that I played. But my conclusion with the first game was really that I wish it had something more. Ultimately, the game is just a little bit too simple. It's fun to play for a while, but very quickly reached a point where there's no challenge. It's not a very difficult game. There's no real potential failure that you can run across, and so you kind of just, yeah, you spend most of your time just kind of doing all the more tedious manual tasks, like emptying out these plort collectors. The plorts here, when you feed a slime, they'll poop out a little plort gem. You typically use this for money. Certain upgrades, certain structures might require these. More advanced structures might require them for teleporting and stuff. But beyond that, yeah, not gonna be, looking at the amount of money I have now, 25,000 coins, I'm not going to be buying anything else with this because I already bought everything in the first 2 or 3 hours kind of thing. And so, yeah, you don't need the coins, and so what you'll find yourself doing is to come downstairs here in the lab, start depositing it in this refinery. A bunch of plorts, a bunch of other resources like the diamond and stuff. Come here, we could buy upgrades or different utilities. We could build a home portal. Actually, let's do that. I can go somewhere, teleport back to the base immediately instead of having to run back and forth all the but yeah, it's, there's not a whole lot of mechanics here. We'll grab rock wars or rock plorts basics. But yeah, when we first start the game, you run out here, you see, hey, there's these pink slimes, we've got carrots. They love to eat carrots. One of the things you'll quickly learn is that if you feed them a gem from a different slime, they'll kind of gain both attributes. And if you don't necessarily figure it out on your own, you will see it here in the next area. Pink slimes, we got con slimes, and then we've got these con pink largos. The largos are slimes that have evolved as they've eaten other slime. Especially during nighttime, you'll probably notice there are tar slimes, which is what happens when you feed a largo, these, a different slimes. So you're trying to go for, you know, a combination of 3. Unfortunately, that corrupts them, and no good. Gotta deal with the hostile slimes. That's pretty much most of the hostiles you'll see in this game. They're very easy to run away from, so you don't really have to worry about them. They don't really hurt you all that much either. And so, yeah, it's a super casual laid-back game where I'd say the kind of game that you can kind of give to anybody. If you got young kids who maybe want to get into the game, first kind of games, I'll probably love playing this. I believe this game was available on like iPads as well. Maybe you have a partner who really plays video games, kind of interested in it. Well, it would probably be a decent game to start things off with. Just because, yeah, there's no real failure. It's not necessarily a super challenging game. That's kind of what you want, right? You don't want to overwhelm people with, you know, difficult controls and learning all sorts of mechanics and stuff. Your first time playing a game, you want to keep it simple. And these games are quite simple, which is good. Yeah, I remember looking at the reviews for the first game on Steam. It's overwhelmingly positive. Tons of people played it. It's very well received. A lot of the reviews talking about this being so relaxing. All these little cute slimes and stuff being kind of their favorite part of the game. This is very much more of that, which is great. But at the same time, when I did my review of the first game, I kind of complained about the fact that, well, I kind of reached the end game very quickly. And if you don't realize it, you know, you're going to be spending maybe a couple more hours trying to clear anything else, and it kind of is. There's a little bit more to do, but you're just kind of dealing with more dangerous combinations of slimes. As long as you have all the enclosures and keep them happy enough, you know, the slightly more dangerous / aggressive combinations really be much of a worry. So yeah, that's kind of a non-issue. Even feeding certain slimes, some of them have fairly strict diet requirements. They take advantage of the fact that you can combine 2 of them together. Not only do they inherit the attributes, but they inherit the dietary requirement. And so some of the butterfly slimes in this game, they require nectar, which is not something you can grow on your farm. But you can very easily combine them with another slime that might be prefers fruit or vegetables, right? So that makes it very easy to feed those slimes. So it's just a lot of manual stuff like this once you've kind of reached the later stages of the game, which, yeah, but not a big problem. Again, if you're having fun playing this, that's great. You can do this for hours on end. But I will say, for being the new game, sequel to the originally launched quite a long time ago, it is a little bit disappointing that they didn't really do a whole lot of new stuff in this one. It's not that it's lacking anything, it's very much the same as what I remember from playing the original one for a couple hours this week. Arguably there's less in this one, because the original game did get tons of updates. They put in a lot of free updates / DLC, so, you know, obviously if you played a lot of the first game, know that, yeah, definitely has a lot less. However, if you only played Slime Rancher 1 at launch and didn't really stick with it much beyond that, this will feel kind of the same in terms of content. If you missed out on content update over the year. But kind of the point I'm trying to make here is I wish they had done something a little bit more, at least mechanically to try and make this a little bit more unique or interesting, because at this point in time, when it just came out in early access, I have a hard time suggesting this one over the original game. It is a little bit more expensive. Other than the performance, because the first game has some weird CPU bottlenecks. You start getting into bigger farms. A lot of units, a lot of slimes or chickens and stuff like that. The CPU usage is like unusually high in terms of performance. In this game, that's gone. They've solved that issue. However, this game does have the weird issue of ambient occlusion, the high setting for ambient occlusion being like extremely demanding. It literally halves the frame rate on the 1080 Ti. So I can go from about 55 frames a second to 110, just bringing it down to medium. But there's little growing pains like that, which I'm not saying they're trivial to fix, but yeah, that's something that they can tweak within the whatever engine settings that they have. They could probably tweak that and make it be a bit more realistic in terms of demand. Yeah, it's a lot of little things like that that I'm kind of wondering, you know, why didn't they go a bit further in this? Like, it's good, but feels like it's missing a little bit of something. But I don't know. Ultimately, I guess we'll see. You know, people clearly like this game. They think it's a great package already. Today that it was already getting quite a few positive reviews. Now that it's 4 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours now. So, they went with, the developers went with the low risk option of just, hey, let's do more of what people love, and turns out people love it, so I can't really complain. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, people love your game, you've kind of already succeeded, right? That's why you're making games, because you want people, you love making games, love playing them, happy knowing that other people out there also. So, yeah, with that said, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm genuinely curious to see how much it progresses over time. Just how much more content gets added to it, because you know, so far we've not really gone very far. I mean, you saw me run up to here, look at the rabbit, the bunny slimes, and that's kind of halfway across this area, right? I'm gonna teleport over here real quick, and maybe we'll run into this area. Yes. I'm just gonna drop a teleporter there so I can get back to base quicker. To simplify that task, because at the point I'm at, the only thing restricting me from getting all the upgrades are a lot of the little like these ores, which are gonna be not gonna be one in. Throw. That's fish. Did I want it? Yeah. Oh, got a couple of tower guys. This is where I want to go. Ran through this area a few times. Not enough to remember it by heart. Oh great. You corrupted area. Yeah, I'm heading down there. Came at it from a slightly different angle. Yeah, like that rock up there has radiant ore. This one too. These are like more specialized gems that are a little bit tougher to find. They only respawn occasionally. So that's kind of what's holding me up on a lot of the upgrades. What we're gonna do here is activate this. We'll build a teleporter to home. So now I can be like, hey, I've run out here, I've gotten some ore that I require for my next upgrade. I missed that one. Okay, let's grab this one. Yeah, now I have enough ore, I can just kind of walk in here, and we're back at our home farm. Go ahead and just do whatever. Anyways, that's Slime Rancher 2. Interesting game. Definitely being fun and entertaining for the couple hours I've played so far. Like I said, I've already reached the end game, having played the first game and played this one. It's just a better looking version, really. Maybe a little bit less stuff for now, but over time it'll very quickly fully feature. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed. If you liked what you see, well, like I said, it's available on Game Pass, available on Steam. Check it out, pick it up, whatever. Have some fun. That said, this is Mike here, and I'll see you guys next week for the video.